Previously we were talking about making sure that the what ifs don't become what nows, because when you have to make those decisions under duress, that is sometimes when a lot of the wrong decisions get made, whether it is the market, whether it is, healthcare facilities, whether it is things like that. Funeral arrangements are also one of those things. The loss of a loved one is never a pleasant experience, but it's also something that is, well, it is unavoidable. But rather than try to make those decisions while you are dealing with the loss of a loved one under that duress, let's talk about, prepaid funeral arrangements and the benefits that doing that can provide.
Yeah, so in my opinion, one of the hardest parts about a passing of a loved one is the burden that's left on the family. Everybody's wondering what exactly they wanted for the funeral
Mhm.
and all what goes into the funeral. But there's a plan that we offer that is a prepaid funeral plan. So all you simply do is you come in, we'll help you out, you signed up for it, and then you get extra coverage for that plan or for the funeral. And it offers a lot of great things. For example, it's protected from a Medicaid spend down, so no matter what happens to you, you're going to be able to have that. You're going to keep it covered. But the hardest part about a passing of a loved one is the burden left on the family. They're not in the right state of mind to make those decisions at the moment. So it's best to have everything planned before it happens.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right, and what we've done is Troy has really kind of taken the lead on that here at the office, and is really working to help people with that prepaid arrangements and getting that put in place. But one of the things in preparing for this segment, Troy, we were talking, and I looked at you and I asked you a simple question: do you have any idea what I want? If I were to pass away, do you have any idea what my desires are for the final, day, so to speak?
Not a clue. I was just going to bury you in a Bengals jersey, probably.
There you go.
safe bet.
But it's true. If you don't. If you don't know what that loved one wants, like Nolan, you were saying earlier when we were on a break, one of the hardest things is to figure out, and especially if there's more than one family member involved, to come to an agreement on what mom or dad or that loved one would have wanted or what they did want. And Troy, like you said, trying to do that under the duress of the actual passing is not the right time to do that. It's just not the right time to put that in place. And there again, I talked with mom or talked with grandma, and I said, hey, at this point, you are at a position where you can determine what you want instead of leaving it up to someone else to determine what your wishes are. And Nolan, I know you've got some experience with this. You worked with us a lot, and I know you've got some personal stories that you've shared with us as well.
I would agree. Both of us are going on 30 years of being in the industry. So whether it's personal life experiences or just working with clients, I know, I unfortunately lost my mom to cancer, but I had a little bit of time where I could talk to mom about what her wishes were, make some of those arrangements. Something, that jumped out to me was, at the funeral home, the guest book that you
Sure.
sign.
Yep.
I think it was like $350 to buy it, the guest book. I was able to buy it locally at a store and be able to get it for about $15.
Yeah.
So I was able to make smarter financial decisions. I can also, tell you from personal experience, when I lost my brother tragically, I was not in a good state of mind. And, I really bought the best of everything. And looking back, I'm glad we were, able to have a phenomenal funeral for him. But looking back, I don't know that he would have wanted us to spend the kind of money that we did.
Sure.
And I was emotionally in that state. So I think, number one, having a prepaid funeral arrangement is just good for you. It's good for your family. They say there's two certainties in life: death and taxes. So we might as well just check this one off the list.
Sure.
It's not a fun topic to talk about. Nobody likes talking about death, but it is a reality of life. And it's something that, you can take this checklist that we've put together, fill this out, put it with your important estate planning documents. That way, the kids or the spouse, they know what your wishes are. You can even communicate those wishes, work it together with your family or your spouse over the holidays, get it knocked out, put away, and then people know what those wishes are. And then in the other situation, we talk about the fact that people oftentimes will have their life savings wiped out if they or a loved one needs some type of long-term care. And whether it's a single or married couple, there's certain assets that are countable assets, and there's other assets that are uncountable assets. And when you have an irrevocable funeral trust here in the state of Ohio, that really can be another situation that can help people from a Medicaid spend down. So you're able to take money instead of giving your entire life savings over to the funeral home and burdening your family with the burial cost. In the state of Ohio, if set up correctly, you could get a prepaid funeral trust, not only check this off the list that it's all done, but have it as a protected asset. So heaven forbid, whenever you pass away, you've got that funeral already set aside, as long as you're following the guidelines, again, set out for Medicaid and how that works. And that's what we're happy to do. We're happy to kind of walk you through that ultimate estate planning checklist, provide you a copy of that, and help you navigate the landscape, and then, connect you with the right resources, either here locally or somewhere, nationally, to accomplish the wishes that you want.
Absolutely. So if you're in need or have a desire for more information about that, reach out. Like you said, we've tasked Troy with this, and he's doing a phenomenal job at this point. But any one of us here can take your call.
And the phone number is 419-794-3030. Understand this is not, the most pleasant conversation to have, but it is certainly a lot easier to have than for your loved ones to have to make these decisions, as we said earlier, under duress. 419-794-3030 to get that ultimate estate planning checklist and so much more. You can also go to the website at arhq.com.